You're listening to Force Majeure, an actual play Star Wars podcast. My name is Adam and I'm your host, and today's episode will be brought to you after these words from our sponsors.
We journey on, our quest begun, on azure sand under blazing sun. By Chubb's cunning, first challenge beaten, sibling strength a trusty beacon. Koso's fierce heart beating sore, where traitor waits beyond the door.
Hello everybody and welcome back to episode 2 of Too Hutt to Handle. My name is Adam and I am the GM for this cavalcade of nonsense. And I am joined around the table by some truly wonderful people. And they're going to introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about themselves, starting now. Tom, do you want to go first on this one?
Spoiler alert, Adam. Yes, okay, my name's Tom. But yes, I am a player on the podcast Critical Ditto with another member of the current team for today's session, but no spoilers, so you'll get the name later. Yes, I am playing Chubb Salvage, the Ewok who's trying to start his own relationship advice business called Love Salvage, and that's Chubb.
I'll jump in. My name's Stuart. I am also on Critical Ditto with Tom, a Pokemon role-playing podcast that you can find at Critical Ditto on Twitter. I'm playing So, the gorgeous Quarren beauty queen of Tatooine.
Hi, I'm Lou. I am a occasional voice here on Force Majeure and a more standard player over on Dungeon Majeure. And I am playing Grut, Salt and Crunch, an interchangeable group of Gamorreans.
But all with individual beauty.
All with individual personalities and accents, apparently.
And accent. I was very, very pleased with the accents from the last episode. It really helped me.
Will I remember them now?
Absolutely not.
There is only one way to find out.
They say that no one is ever truly lost, that if you carry your home in your heart, then you will always have somewhere to be loved, to be safe, and to be comfortable. Until you go to Keenabale, at which point a horde of angry Jawas will definitely steal it from you and make it into some bizarre robotic tat. That's just the way things go on Keenabale. We've learned to accept it.
I like that character there, Adam, just being like, suddenly you realise the droid's head is on this weird robotic thing attached to the Jawa-mobile.
Yes.
Welcome to Keenabale.
My life is pain every single day. And speaking of Keenabale, our camera follows in across the blue sands, down the main street of Red Yes, to the Freighter, which doubles as the restaurant known as Dust, a prize-winning, much-in-demand, exclusive haute couture restaurant run by the maestro of Moncal, Augusto Blope, famed chef who has travelled as far from civilization as possible to show people what good cooking actually is. Outside of Dust, we see an empty stand where a maitre d' droid up until recently was stationed. Outside, we also see an Ewok on a comm looking slightly concerned through the doorway into the restaurant, flanked by two interchangeable Gamorreans. And then in the restaurant, in this glorious confection of black marble with inlaid gold patterning, surrounded by assorted sea tat, we see that self-same protocol droid stumbling in the way that protocol droids do after an elegant figure of a Quarren in a long red gown as she has burst into the kitchen to confront an orange Mon Calamari, tall chef's hat, standing and swaying with their every motion, their right hand wielding a cleaver with pinpoint precision as they slice various amounts of sushi into beautiful, beautiful slices. It's not cannibalism, they just look like fish, leave it alone.
Don't think about it too much.
In their left hand, they have a small, peculiar-looking rodent that occasionally they are squeezing and shaking over the fish as the peculiar dust floats free from its fur, flavouring these slices of tender meat. And they spin to see who has entered their kitchen unannounced. Players.
You see Kotso's face, and she has this gorgeous, pink, fleshy, squid-like complexion. As I said last time, these long, elongated tentacles, the slick-back fins. By all means, a gorgeous Quarren, but in the fires, in the heat and the steam of this kitchen, she is wrong-footed, as plumes of flame erupt from various ovens and pans around her. The steam stings her fishy skin. You can see it just sizzling slightly in the heat of this kitchen. She's wrong-footed. And although she went in with all intention to call out the Trout man himself, Augusto Blope, she's given pause. This is the king in his throne room. This is the majesty of Augusto Blope, resplendent in his own kitchen, and it is too much for her. And as a final plume of fire fires and settles, she and Augusto Blope just lock fishy eyes, glassy, together. And you can see her Quarren mouth, two little fangs hanging open, as if she wants to say something but is frozen in fear at meeting the man who jilted her so many years ago.
A large, piggish shape steps in behind the Quarren beauty queen and very calmly looks the Mon Calamari chef up and down and goes,
I think you're using that spice weasel wrong.
Augusto Blope looks taken aback, both by the reappearance of his long-lost paramour, the paramour he wronged so badly and so far away on another desert planet, much like this, under the thumb of a Hutt just like this, and the vast Gamorrean criticising his culinary skills. And he goes,
Not at all! How dare you come into my kitchen and say such a thing, bringing her with you? Kotso, I came here to get away from the legacy of our ill-fated stars. What are you doing here? I made it very, very clear to Jay-Z. You are not welcome in my establishment.
I'm very sorry, Master. The robotic voice muffles as you can just see one hand reaching over behind the vast Gamorrean shoulders. I tried my very best, but she wouldn't be dissuaded.
Kotso grips her squiddy three-fingered hand against the sleeve of her red gown and summons the courage to finally say something.
Why, Blope? I just have to know why you did it. Why you would take everything from me when you had promised to give everything to me. I have to know.
Because you can't accept umami. I bake for you the finest goods, prepared the greatest possible meals. I slaved and sweated away at my stove, bringing you tweets that would make kings and emperors cry. And you added salt at the table. It could never be between us. You.
And he steels himself, drops the cleaver, and wipes a solitary tear from his eye.
Have no palate.
My secret shame. Augusto, you have always been special. You've always had a knack, a beauty in your cooking that I could never appreciate because my tongue was eaten when I was a baby by womp rats. They stole it to my crib and they ate my tongue. It's questionable how I've even learned to speak. I think I have a sixth tentacle in here somewhere helping out with it. But I knew that I loved you for you, not for your cooking, because I could never taste it. I loved you, Augusto, for the Mon Cala that you are. Not for your talents, for your grace, but for you, your gentleness, your kindness. What I thought was kindness. And then you reject it? You reject me? Because I cannot appreciate your gift? Because you have a gaggle of people around you now telling you that you are this special thing, this wonderful chef? And what am I? Just a voluptuous Quarren in a red dress? That was why you took my money? We had and she steels herself. We had love, Augusto, and you have replaced it with flavors.
You say that I have unveiled your secret shame by exposing to these people your lack of palate. Then fine, allow me to expose my secret shame and the reason why we could never be.
What?
I don't understand the concept of love. I have read about it in so many books, watched countless seasons of Heights and Depths, and Followed with the Wind.
I know, I was with you when we watched them. We loved it. It was our Friday night, every night, yeah.
I pretended to love it because it meant so much to you, but I never understood it. How 2 or 3, or in some cases 9 people could find that special thing to be whole, to build each other, and you to be strong where the others were weak, to be the missing parts of your soul. I could never find that in a person. I could never find it with you. I could only ever find it here with Potato.
I suppose you're looking for pity now. Pity from a quarren that you wronged.
Never pity. And never forgiveness for what I did to you. I was younger. I needed the seed capital to open my first business, to lose myself in my suffering. But this is what I can do.
Augusto.
First,
you know
I can say sorry.
You know
for all that I did to you.
I would have given it if you'd asked. And yet you take, Augusto. That is what love is. Love is trusting that the other person would want what you want, but instead you take. Are you happy, Augusto? Are you lonely?
I'm the greatest chef the galaxy has ever seen.
But are you happy?
Never since that day.
Poe turns and leaves the kitchen.
Well, I feel like a bit of a third wheel.
Wait, are you left in there? You're left in the kitchen.
Still looking at a Spice Weasel questionably.
I'm having that Spice Weasel.
Blope looks broken, his head downcast, his vast eyes closed, and wordlessly, he just reaches his hand out, proffering you the Spice Weasel.
I think I might have closed the restaurant. Yeah, I know. I say that to Chubb. Actually, I leave the restaurant, wiping quarren tears from my squiddy face, salty.
Before you could say it, Chubb says to you, "Absolutely bonza news, Co. We've got the table for the restaurant, so Blope can make Brack of the Hutt the meal, and we all get to live. How brilliant is that? How brilliant am I that maybe you'd want to invest in?"
I have a feeling. I don't think Augusto Blope will be cooking tonight.
Excuse me?
I think Augusto Blope may be considering some things.
Augusto Blope, the greatest chef in the galaxy?
Yeah. Let's just say we had a little tete-a-tete and things did not go as was expected.
You didn't kill him, did you?
Oh no, I fully went in with the intention of boiling him in a salty pot of water, but...
But you didn't do that.
No, he's alive.
Good.
Yeah, he is sad, Chubb. He's a sad Moncala. And I mean that in the sort of, God, what a pathetic figure. I guess I did. I pitied him. It's not what I thought it was, Chubb. I thought I would go in and get revenge. I thought I would go in and feel like I'd closed a chapter, but instead gosh, it's just tragic.
She broke him from the inside.
I guess I did, yeah. Maybe I did kill him, but emotionally. I used my emotional vibro spear to just poke his heart and kind of, yeah.
Oh, well, so emotional. Do you need emotion to cook?
But yeah, he kind of like symbolically laid down his tools and like turned off the fires and stuff. I'm just making an assumption that. Like,
Okay, when you say symbolically laid down his tools and turned off the furnace, did he actually do that? Because if that is the case, then we are in
he did.
deep water. He did. Right.
He did.
Okay.
Kitchen
Brilliant.
Okay.
So the best chef in the galaxy is now not cooking Braca the Hutt, our boss, who's going to kill us all if we don't deliver the greatest meal.
It's ironic, isn't it? That you keep thinking, Chubbs, that love will solve all these problems, and yet it seems to just create more.
Oh, you've got me there, and it's because my life is on the line that I'm in trouble. But you know what? I will tell you that love is a roller coaster, okay? There are ups, there are downs. This is simply a down. I'm sure Augustus Blope will see reason once I talk to him. Do I then see Augustus Blope jump out the window or something?
No, but kind of looking through, you can see him collapsed over the shoulders of Jay-Z, just sobbing uncontrollably into Jay-Z's metallic shoulder. Just a cleaver hanging listlessly by his side.
There's one patron going, "My arancini is late." Excuse me, server.
I don't work here. Excuse me. I'm patron-ish. I mean, I don't have a table or a booking, but my boss does, and that's just important, right? Well, okay. Well, look, simply, I'm sure Quem will be in touch, and maybe this isn't our problem. Maybe we've done our bit, and that's it. Okay, the others can deal with the rest of it. We've done what we need to.
Yeah.
What
did Quem say? What was the last word we had from Quem?
Don't hugely remember. I think they said they'd be in touch to let us know what would happen next. But I'm hopeful that our job's done, and you know what? The others can deal with the whole Blope not cooking situation. That's my hope, anyway.
Your comm goes off, Chubb.
Oh, it's me. Perhaps it's a client. Someone in need of love. Hello, Chubb Salvage. I will salvage a relationship.
Oh, hi. It's Quem again.
Quem, hey, buddy.
So, okay, you've done really well, and that's great.
Thank you.
And because you did so well so quickly, I've got something slightly, just a soupçon, just a smidgen more difficult for you, because you've impressed us all so much with how good you are. Isn't that great? I'll make sure you all have a bonus.
Oh, it would be good. We've done it so quickly. Perhaps this is some time to let someone else shine. Someone else to sit in the driver's seat.
I don't think at the moment we can trust anybody else. No one else is free. They're all taking so much longer with their tasks. It's like they want to be devoured for 10,000 years by a Sarlacc. Who'd have thunk it? So, this should be a nice and easy one for you. It lends itself to your skill set.
Okay.
So, have you ever heard of the planet Alderaan?
Yes.
So, Alderaan is very, very famous for a certain type of wine called shimmer wine. It's very, very nice. It's very, very rare, and it's Braca the Hutt's favorite drink.
Okay.
More importantly, it's Vekla the Hutt's favorite drink, and we just happen to know where there's a single bottle, just the one, on the planet. And Braca would very much like you to go and get that for him so he can have it with his aperitifs this evening.
Fantastic. And it's at some form of daycare, being completely unguarded. And it's actually for free. They're actually giving it away.
Free? Yes.
Great.
To an extent. The bottle is currently the possession of Moff Turbulent, leader of the Imperial forces on Red Yes. They've got a little compound just outside of town, where them and their stormtroopers are, and in the wine cellar, there's this bottle, and we'd very much like you to acquire it for our Lord and Master Braca. Thank you.
Brilliant. Quem, are you? Oh, they hung up. I don't think we had a choice there. Well, so I guess we should put the Augustus Blope thing on hold and get this wine first.
Unless, what if Augusto Blope is the key to this? You know, who would Moff Turbulent want to meet at this moment than the most famous person in Canterbury?
I find it very interesting, Co, that you spent the beginning of this journey not wanting anything to do with your ex-boyfriend and now seemingly trying to shoehorn them into your life.
Perhaps I just want to see their shame paraded.
Yes, I wonder, but perhaps there's something that can possibly be salvaged in this. Perhaps you feel, actually now seeing underneath the trout-like skin. You've seen the heart of this.
Chubb, no, I see what you're doing. I see through you. I see through your furry little face and your teddy bear eyes.
Impossible. I have very dense fur.
No, it's true. But it's not happening. All right?
Okay, well, I'm with you. I think maybe Moff Turbulent would respect the word of the greatest chef certainly on Keenabale, but possibly the entire galaxy. But the problem is, you destroyed his soul not moments ago.
All right, so Chubb, guess what? This is it, Chubb. This is your chance. All right? There is a soul in there that is destroyed. Maybe it needs to be salvaged.
You've got me. Deal. I will salvage his soul, and then you and Mr. Blope can perhaps storm or approach Moff Turbulent, and you steal the wine. Does that sound like a fair deal?
I think we crossed that bridge, Chubb. I think we crossed that bridge.
Just tell me this. Is my investment still possibly on the table?
Whatever gets you to say yes, Chubb.
I'll take that as a yes. Crunch, with me.
All right, then.
Great. Yes, it's the Scottish one. I was hoping...
No, hang on, wait, no, it's the Cockney one.
No!
Grut's the Scot.
Yeah, Grut's the Scot.
In that case, Grut.
Wait, sorry, Crunch, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean you. This is awkward. I was hoping for Grut. Could you go into the speeder and get Grut?
Yeah, Grut comes out from behind the wheel.
Go on then, lad.
Fantastic. This is the energy I need. Right. No offense to you, of course, Crunch. I'm sure you've got valuable things going on in your life that I can certainly salvage. But for now, Grut, let's go. And Chubb and Grut go into the kitchen. How does Chef Blope look at the moment, Adam?
Not good. Bad. He is currently staring over one of the burners. Just like into the fire. There is a large kind of cast iron pot, which is bubbling away with some beautiful smelling broth. And he's just standing there, staring listlessly into this thick, bubbling liquid, losing himself in the swirls. Very occasionally, as you kind of come in, he's just gently pouring maybe a bit of creme fraiche into the top as it's bubbling and watching as it forms spirals in the liquid. And Jay-Z is patting him in that very, robotic fashion on his right shoulder.
There. You'll be fine shortly. Come along. Good old Augusto. You're the greatest chef that ever there was. Just finish making the stew and take yourself a nice sip and everything will be marvellous.
Oh, you're too good to say, but without her, my life has been exposed for the rioters.
Chef Blope, down here, Chef.
Do you want me to pick you up?
Yes, please. Thank you very much. This is what I need. Could you put me on your shoulders?
I pick Chubb up and I perch him like a child upon my big piggy green shoulders.
Huh. I still command respect, even though I'm in this position. It's just somehow comforting to me in these tense moments when I'm trying to salvage some love. Okay.
Blope turns round and kind of looks up and cranes his head to look up to you, at which point his hat falls off and lands in the soup, and his shoulders slump dejectedly again. I'm flipping a dark side point.
Oh, flipping a dark side point. That's that's bad.
Yes, as his hat falls off in the soup and listlessly spirals once, twice, 3 times, and then drops below the surface of the soup.
Okay.
Is Grunge watching this? Because this is so poetic. They need to see this.
Yeah, I'd imagine they're making notes, as if the epic ballad of...
This will be my next sweet soliloquy.
Snout pushed up against the window.
The melancholy of the Trout King.
Oh, they're gonna love this.
Chef Blope, if I may, lend me your ear.
What do you have to say, tiny furry one?
It's not what I have to say that's important here, Blope. It's what you still have to give. I know you've been heartbroken. Perhaps by someone you potentially love. I don't know. I don't know the relationship. I know that perhaps Co at one time in life loved you. And I don't know whether you in time loved her at some point. But that is not for me to say. What I am telling you, Blope, is that
there is still a chance for you to get those feelings back. Those feelings that you seem to feel like you're missing. The feeling that's either not there or dormant within you. And I know exactly how to do it. Look into that soup, sir. Look right into that soup. The one that your hat is in. And I'm going to tell you right now, that hat soup is the answer. Not because of the hat, not because of the soup, but because of what I can put into the soup that will help you win back the heart of the one you truly love and salvage your relationship.
And Chubb takes out a small vial, and it says on it, very important salvage potion, ancient magics.
This, Chef Blope, is an ancient Ewokian aphrodisiac. This will give you the vigor, the verve, to rekindle your feelings and to fight for the ones you love, and might even make you discover or rediscover a love that was there, may never have been there, or may be there, but you didn't even know it was there. Do you see what I'm saying here, Blope? I'm giving you drugs, Blope. I'm giving you drugs to help you.
Take the drugs, son.
Exactly.
Take the drugs.
I always swore that the only psychoactives I would ever take were those that occurred naturally. The mushroom, the toad, the weasel. But here, at the nadir of my soul, the furthest in my journey from happiness I have ever been, what is left for me but to get smashed off my trout?
And he reaches up and takes the vial.
Now, I should point out to the listeners that this vial is complete cark, okay? There's nothing magical about this vial.
Okay.
It's nothing. It's like sugar water, okay? It's all a con. I'm trying to convince Blope that he is high and ready for love, okay? Sounds creepier than it is because it's not real though. It's only sugar water. So it's not.
We here in Force Majeure do not endorse necessarily the recreational use of drugs to combat sadness.
Go over to the Zenith Corp, okay? They're the ones you want to go to for the real stuff. But for us, no. This is more just, mind trickery, therapizing. This is
deception that dies.
Just cheap little Jedi mind tricks, nothing.
Exactly. The Jedis can force people to do what they want with their mind. I do it with simple.
That's very creepy.
Yeah,
that's creepy.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I think I'm going to want another deception test from you for this. Or deception or charm?
I did not know Chubb Salvage was going to turn out to be such a little wily trickster.
Yeah, he's a little scoundrel. He's very much
an Ewok. You look into their dead little shark eyes and know that nothing is beyond them in pursuit of their goals.
Yes. I will get that investment by all means necessary.
It's necessary.
If I've got to eat some stormtroopers to get there, then by God, it's grub time.
I would love it to be charm.
Yeah, we'll go with charm. With charm. I think it's convincing. It's all about the sales pitch. So yeah, we'll go with charm. Your difficulty is going to be, I think, 1 red and 2 purple. I'm going to add a setback die in there because they have such a refined palate that they might be able to taste that it's nothing more than sugar water. But I think I'm going to give you a boost die because they're heartbroken and reaching for anything they can gather. And don't forget, you also have congenial, which means you can take a strain and downgrade that to just 3 purple.
I will do that again, so I'm now up to 2 strain because of carrying over from last time. So I'm going to go with 3 purple, a setback die, a boost die, and then Chubb's charm, which is 2 yellows and a green. And then there are some sort of 2 black.
That means you can get rid of setback. So...
Oh, can I get rid of this setback?
You can indeed get rid of the setback.
Great. So I get rid of that setback. Oh.
That's a failure.
Oh, it's a
5
failure.
advantage.
Oh my goodness.
That's so many advantages. That's such an obscene number of advantages for what is essentially a failure.
I think that Blope takes the vial, but before they tip it in the soup, they open it and they swill it around in the vial, they sniff it, they hold it up to their eye, they get at the tip of their tongue in it, just a taste, and they look at you and go,
This isn't drugs. This is just sugar water. Are you trying to huckster me?
The real secret ingredient was in you all along!
Exactly. See, that's what we're trying to awaken something in you. I just think you need to get it together, man.
Is there a way to spend the advantage in Chubb splashing some of the hot soup onto... I want to see... So get it together. I'm going to splash it on it and find that the hat has made the soup taste better than originally planned.
Yeah.
So what I'm suggesting here is that Blope is slightly cheered up by the fact that he's discovered something new about cooking that he didn't know before, and that was his hat is in fact a great soup addition.
Secret seasoning.
Maybe it's just, it's got so many stains on it from all the years that they've just infused into the water.
It's like a great pot, like an old pot.
Yeah. I was also going to say, because that I think is probably, let's call that 2 advantages. That's, quite a mood lifter. I don't know whether with the remaining 3, if you've got any more thoughts, but what immediately sprung to mind was, now he's angry. So he's no longer kind of crushed and despondent. His soul isn't weeping. There is fire in him again. It might not be good fire from your perspective, but at least he's no longer desolate.
Okay, that's actually perfect for me. I've got an idea of where to run with that roleplay-wise.
So he like looks kind of initially kind of a bit incredible and thrusts the vial back in your hand, and you splash it into the soup and like, taste the soup.
He's like, how dare you soil my soup with your own placebotic seasoning, and my hat is most glorious.
You like my potion? Huh? I thought you would, right?
It's not a potion.
No?
You tiny reprobate.
Oh.
Get out of my kitchen.
Oh.
I have magic to work and cannot be trifled with such annoyances as snake oil salesmen and huckster Ewoks.
Oh, well, I mean, I do know that the... Grut, go with me here, Grut. Well, I apologise for... yes, you've seen through that slight ruse to G you up, and I believe that you seem very G'd up. You seem very full of zest again. And actually, some of the soup is splashed onto my fingers here, and, I tell you, it's almost perfect, I might say. So, good job.
Almost.
Almost, exactly.
Almost.
Yes, almost perfect.
Almost.
Yes, I'm just saying, almost perfect.
Their skin gets darker and goes from being like the light orange to a deep burnt umber, which, given I can't see colours, is pretty good, right?
That's great.
That is impressive.
And their eyes go slightly bloodshot and they start to shake with rage.
Yes, I mean, I say, obviously nothing can be perfect, but, I feel like this could be perfect if it's just missing something, It's just missing a very key ingredient. Personally, I don't know about you, Grut. I don't know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
See, Grut agrees.
Yeah.
Grut agrees. Yep, missing that ingredient. And I'm just thinking, I've heard on the grapevine that this sort of kind of hat soup that you've made, by pure coincidence, would go very well with a certain wine. What was that wine called, Grut? Do you remember the wine that would go perfectly with the hat soup?
Oh, the sparkle wine.
Not the sparkle wine, was it? Was it called the sparkle wine? Yes, it was the sparkle wine.
Shimmer wine.
Shimmer wine, good, yes. The shimmer wine. Shimmer wine. Do you have some of that? Quick,
To the bar!
Chef Blope, get out your shimmer wine and have a little taste, and I'm sure you'll agree.
Don't be ridiculous. There's no shimmer wine out here on this Blackwater. The Alderanian nobility keep a very tight grasp on exports. It's what they're most famous for, between that and rebel sympathies.
Well, I don't mean to alarm you here, but actually there is shimmer wine on Keenabale. Moff Turbulent is in fact on planet right now, and I believe, rumour has it, that he has a bottle, the only bottle, of this shimmer wine, and I don't know if a great chef like yourself could pass up such an opportunity, but my colleague someone you are very familiar with, might be agreeable to going with you to getting this wine. I use that in quote marks because getting can mean many different things, but I don't know how you would feel about that. Because I'm totally happy just to have an almost perfect soup. I don't know about you, Grut, but almost perfect is fine by me, the layman.
Yeah, almost. It seems like a good for, trencher Gomorian like me. That seems like it'll do.
Exactly. It's perfect for a Gamorrean, you know? That's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a great soup.
I'll eat that all day long.
Oh, all day. May even eat the pot as well, you know? I don't know. You know, it's that good.
I'd give it a good lick.
And then you could burn the pot afterwards, so, you know, that I would. But anyway, I'm just saying, Blope, that this feeling you're feeling right now, this anger, this passion...
Use it.
It comes from a place of love, and you should use it. You should use it to do something you love, and that is cook a perfect soup.
I would like a negotiation test. I'm aware that you're the only person rolling at the moment, Tom, but that's just the way these things are going. I would like a negotiation test from you. The difficulty again is red, purple, purple, because that's his default difficulty for social things, because he's quite a strong-willed and willful Mon Keller. Again, you can use your congenial to drop that down to 3 purples.
Oh, I am straining myself extremely hard.
I'm going to give you, as a combination of the support from Grutt and basically the baked-in advantages, you know, from the scene, I'm going to give you 3 boost die on this. And a setback, because he is angry. And I don't think you can remove setbacks from negotiation, so that is an S is the dice for that one.
Got it. Yes, I cannot remove anything on that, so there's an S. So, sorry, it was a difficulty of 3 purple, yeah?
3 purple, yeah.
Fantastic. So I am 2 yellows and a green in negotiation, and I've got 3 boost dies and 1 setback die. Here we go.
Whoa, my goodness.
Ho-ho!
Whoa, my goodness.
Yes, it's great. Oh, it's good.
It's really good.
Okay, 4 success, 2 advantage.
Oh, see, I've got to say, you know, perfect soup is something to strive for, quite clearly. The dice believe it. The dice want this pairing, this soup and shimmer wine pairing.
The irony would be that if it pairs awfully.
It really ruins the soup, like, completely.
Fortunately, you got advantages, not threats. Otherwise...
Yes. Yeah, the shimmer wine pairs excellent, is actually a shoe-based wine, so it doesn't go well with a hat soup. It's awful.
Okay, so... negotiation-wise, I think he's going to buy that, and I'll work out what he's going to say. Basically, when we work out what your advantages are, how do we want to frame this scene then?
I would quite like, as a personal advantage to Chubb, is that as Chef Blope is thinking about the perfect soup, he sees through the sort of, I imagine, the sort of circular kitchen window, Co standing there, and...
Crunch with their snout pushed up against the window, writing an epic poem about the scenario.
Exactly. So there's one window with Crunch there, and then in the other window, just through, they see Co in the back, and there's just something. There's a drop. There's a feeling within.
Co is sat at the bar. She's poured herself a whiskey on the rocks. It's just sipping it lightly.
Slow jazz playing in the background.
Yeah.
The long red dress. Yeah, of course. Classic cantina romance. And I don't know, I just think advantage-wise, I'm just wondering if this perhaps sets the chef's feelings in motion as a way of being like, oh, maybe she would like that soup. I don't know. Or is that too nebulous an advantage?
No, I quite like that. Okay. I mean, ultimately, I think the aim is to rekindle some of those feelings for Co and to bridge that gap again. Okay. You see his anger start to abate a little bit as he suddenly starts thinking through the possibilities of this, and your words start to get through to him. And then, he looks through the porthole in the kitchen, across the bar, gentle lights from above the bar, sending a glimmering radiance over Co. And he goes,
"You know, I think you may have something there."
No, Chef Blope. I think you have something there. Something very special. Also, I was wondering if this would be a good time to mention that I am in fact starting a business very soon, and there is an investment opportunity at this level. If you get in now at ground level, very profitable, I assume, in the future. A catering service might be useful for me in Love Salvage, but I'll let you, think it over.
Business card is left then on the table.
Grutt, could you just bend down a little bit? I want to slip this into his pocket, sort of.
Hang on.
There we go. And there it is, in the pocket.
Blope is still kind of fixated looking at the porthole, and with the long practice of a professional chef, he doesn't even seem to look as he fetches a bowl, ladles in 2 helpings of this glorious hat soup, and then floats past you out towards the bar, through the kitchen, Jay-Z kind of stumbling along behind him again, looking a little bit baffled by the whole thing.
Just before we get to that, can Chubb say to Grut,
Okay, Grut, that was great work. Now you can have the salt weasel. Take it. Here you go. Here's your reward.
Awesome. Salt's gonna love this.
Oh, Salt loved this. Oh, I forgot. Wrong one. Haha, you got me with being a brother. Yes, give this your brother as a nice gift.
Oh, go in the bag, little weasel.
Kill me, let me die.
Please don't do this.
Oh, no, death for you.
Oh, no.
Time to kick it up a notch.
Bam!
And Blope almost floats out of the kitchen towards you, Co.
So Chubb spoke to you, huh?
I have been a fool. I have treated you so badly. And I have... This...
And he puts the bowl of soup on the table between the two of you as he kind of moves behind the bar. So he's on the other side of the bar from you, your eyes meeting over the brass-handled pumps. And he puts this bowl of soup in between you.
I was a fool. A fool who treated you so very badly. This is perhaps the finest soup I have ever made. And knowing that we cannot share a spoonful together, that you cannot taste what I can taste, has made me realize that I cannot love the way you love. I am missing that fundamental part, and so are you. But I can taste for you and describe the sensation. And maybe you can love for me, a foolish old fish boy, and describe to me the sensation. So together we know what we're missing and can still experience each other's passion. Can you forgive me?
She takes a minute and looks at the steaming soup in front of her, and she looks back at Augusto, and she takes his fishy face with her three-fingered squiddy hand. It's a slimy mess. It slips off about 5 times before she manages to get purchase.
Augusto, you are a fool, and you have wronged me so much. And I know that you know that I cannot taste this soup, but what I'm going to do is I am going to eat it, and I'm going to tell you how delicious it is, even though I cannot taste it. Because, Augusto, that is what love is. It's not having to know, it's trusting.
And she takes a sip of the soup, smiles through her squiddy, teethy face.
It's delicious.
She shrugs.
He slumps down behind the bar and looks up at you.
Koso, will you do me the great honour of being Mrs. Blope?
From the kitchen window, you just hear from a small Ewok. Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
I am a survivor. When you left me in ruins, I was lost. But I survived. When you went off-world and left me on Tatooine, I survived. I made my own way. I joined a Hutt's gang. I watched you become a galactic-wide success. But I survived. On my own. Augusto, I need to think about this. I need to know that choosing this is the right decision for me, not just for you, and I think you need to know that too. It's a two-way thing. You know how one flavor complements another. I need to be sure. Now let's go get this wine.
Well, of course. I know that whatever you choose, I trust you.
And Ko looks back at the kitchen window to see Chubb peeking through the window.
Yeah, but on the shoulders of kind of Grut, so it's sort of there's a bit of like wobble from
Grut, keep me still. This is important.
It's like face is right up against the window.
But I want to see. I love romance.
We all do, Grut. We all love romance.
I'd better be a bridesmaid.
And she looks back through the window and just mouths to you, Chubb. What did you do?
And Chubb opens the door slightly and throws Ko the hollow love ball.
Which said, what did it say? It said, the dark side of love is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. Oh, and I think she sees that message and she looks back at Augusto, and there's this sad figure of a man half bathed in light, half in shadow, as if she can't decide on what side he's leaning, whether it's the dark or the light, and it's conflicted in her as she looks at this sad Trout man.
We'll get them, Grut. By the end of this night, there will be love in the air.
There's always room for love.
Always. You know what, Grut? You're slowly becoming my favourite. You have a bright future in the world of salvaging relationships.
There's a moment's pause, and then Blope shakes his head, stands up tall, straightens his shoulders.
You wait here, my love. I'm going to get us the finest wine in the galaxy. Jay-Z, fetch me my comm. I have a mouth to speak to.
And I think, as Jay-Z skitters over in that clumsy fashion, holding a large comm unit in one hand and the data slate clipboard in the other, as Kotso watches this broken, battered chef whiplash between emotions and grab the comm and begin negotiations with this moth. As Chubb and Grut watch on from the kitchen, surrounded by the beautiful smells and satisfied in a job well done, that's where we're ending the episode for this week.
In flame-scorched kitchen, truth unfolds. Betrayal, heartbreak, stolen gold. Blope's vaunted ego punished flat, but restored by soup of hat. By salvage words, chef's heart ennobled. Will Ko accept fishy proposal?
Thank you, as always, to my players. It has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much to you, my listeners. As always, we're so grateful that you're with us on this journey. We hope you're having as much fun as we are. And we will see you for the finale of Too Hutt to Handle next time.
And you know what? Don't put hats in soup. Just going to put that out there.
Yeah, it's probably not a good thing, especially if you're not like a fish man.
Exactly. Don't feed it to a fish, please.
It's very, very bad for us.
And before we leave you, this episode's patron is Mark Wiggins. Mark is but recently come to the Majorian way of life, but has thrown himself in wholeheartedly, having been gently enticed in by friends and promise of whimsy. We hope we have not disappointed you, and can assure you there is yet more whimsy to come. Thank you very, very much for your support, Mark. It is very much appreciated, and we hope you're having fun. And thank you, as always, to the rest of our patrons. Thank you, as always, to the rest of our listeners. You all look after yourselves, stay safe, and we will see you next time. Force Majeure is played using the Star Wars Force and Destiny game system by Fantasy Flight Games and Lucas Books. Our intro music for this season is Unholy Night by Kevin MacLeod, and our outro music remains Suburban Outlaw by Forget the Whale, both used with gratitude under the Creative Commons license. If you like the show and want to interact with us, we are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, all of which are at Force Majeure Pod, though Twitter is probably where you're going to find us more regularly. If you enjoy what we do and want to support the show, there's 3 ways you can do that. The first is via our Patreon at patreon.com/forcemajeurepod. The second is by buying us a coffee at ko-fi.com/forcemajeurepod. And the third way is by rating and reviewing us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, anywhere where you can find us. We really like reviews. It tells us that we're telling the stories that you want to hear and helps other people find us. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next time.